bit soft.
Okay. Wow. I know you're nervous, but let me talk before people. She's on the live. It's for everyone to listen, learn, and beware. Don't judge, no matter what it is, and so forth. And none of us was there. As you guys know, I speak about this topic last night. And now we have the young lady that was assaulted, that was raped. Let's use the word rape, right? And she's here tonight. None of them is not paying me. None of them did not call me and said, okay, we want to bust our music and so forth. And it doesn't make a difference what race the person is, whether it's white or black or Chinese or whatever it is. Things do happen to people. Now I have a platform. I'm using my platform to bring it awareness to you guys. We are trying our best not to call in the name as much as possible. If anything you guys want to know, you guys could go look it up. But a lot of women are on this page who have been in your situation before and maybe I've never spoke about it. If there's anything that you don't want to answer, I understand. But this is like a courtroom. It's like a courtroom, and I don't want to do anything that will jeopardize any of this and so forth. I've never talked to you before. This is the first time talking to you and so forth. So where are you currently right now?
Well, I'm currently in Singapore.
Singapore.
So yeah, Singapore. I
Right.
was staying in Malaysia for a while, and then before the situation in COVID got worse in Malaysia, I came back here to Singapore.
Okay. So how have you been coping with the whole situation?
I would say that um I was basically out. I was out, and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to function for a year and a half
Mm-hmm. Oh wow.
because it's really something that I till now can't really, I would say, come to
Mm-hmm.
terms with, because I had like a relationship, and I still have a relationship with my
Right.
partner for over 13 years.
Wow.
So, during the tour, we were still talking. I was updating him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, everything's going good. I'm learning a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Misha's taking care of me. Everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the incident happened,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to like tell him that that has happened. And
Mm-hmm.
even though, it was something that was forced on me, it wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
I still feel bad because it's like I was forced to cheat on him, kind of thing.
Right.
And for me, it was a very huge blow because
Right.
I'm someone who is very proper.
Right.
I'm someone who, just I do what's right.
Right.
And
Okay.
I just, when I help people, I help because you know
Mm-hmm.
I want to help. It's not because
Right.
of anything. There's no intention to what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's just the reason why I'm coming out to share this is because when the incident happened and we posted a comment, or
Mm-hmm.
at least I posted a statement and say, hey, I was sexually assaulted on the tour, and I
Right.
still don't feel good, but it's something that happened, and I have to just
Right.
tell people that I'm just gonna be out for a while.
Right.
And I have people reaching out and saying, hey, could you like just like just tell just be sure that I'm with you because it happened to me before. And then that's when I was
Right.
like, oh shit, there's actually so many people that
Mm-hmm.
I knew
Mm-hmm.
um as friends, but I never knew they
Mm-hmm.
were sexually assaulted until
Right.
when I came forward with my story, and that's when they reached out and said, hey, it
Right.
happened to me too. And I was just like, what? And for me, when I am living with the trauma, and I still am living with the trauma and triggers,
Mm-hmm.
um I cannot, you know
Mm-hmm.
bear that thought of staying silent,
Right.
because I would have killed myself.
Wow. So I right now I know that I'm talking to you and I could see that you're nervous about it. Let me go get my charger. Hold on. Let me get my charger because I don't know why this thing. Let me get my charger. Yeah, I just get my charger, so let me plug it in because I don't want it to cut off. Okay. Let me get my charger. We're gonna plug it in. Okay. Hope that works. Okay. I really understand your pain and everything that happened. So, what really happened exactly with you, and what take place really? Because I know
Um,
it's hard, and take your time with it and so forth. You know what I mean?
no, I'm okay to share the story because we saw him, I called him uncle, even though, when I first met him, he tried to
Mm-hmm.
stick his tongue in me. And, at the point in
Mm-hmm.
time, I was so confused. Is this a Jamaican culture? And I was trying, I'm Asian. So I'm trying not to be rude.
Right.
And I didn't dare to call him out because it's just like, okay, he's a guest here in Singapore. So am I supposed to
Mm-hmm.
say something about it? Or am I just supposed to pretend it didn't exist?
Right.
Up till so he's been trying a lot of times with me. So when he first met me, he tried to kiss me.
Right.
When we went to Jamaica, and then I think my sorry, I'm back.
No, that's all
Yeah,
right.
my friend was asleep. He tried to kiss me again, and
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, no, just don't kiss me. He tried
Mm-hmm.
it in Indonesia again during the tour, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, no, like I just pushed him away and no.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while I thought I did a great job just telling him no. And
Right.
to sort of just so it
Mm-hmm.
was like when the whole incident happened, I was actually Asia that asked me whether I'm gonna go to the studio with her, and I said, hey, um I'm not um going to like go with you because I want to sit down and on my video.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so he was, I guess, drinking a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and also talking on the phone. And I was just
Right.
doing my work, and then finally, he was like, "Oh, hey, a lot of things happen. I need a hug." And I was just like, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's fine. A hug, that's okay." And a hug just went into like he was taking advantage of you know my because I care for him as a friend. I was just like, I want you to be okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. A hug's okay. He pushed his boundaries, and the
Mm-hmm.
next thing I knew, he penetrated me with his finger. That was
Hmm.
the one time I was so freaked out. I was so freaked out. I literally said, I need to go to the toilet. I was, it was on me and said, I need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the toilet. And that was the only thing that I could think of doing because
Mm-hmm.
I was in a foreign country. I had nowhere to run. I didn't know where to go. So I could only think of locking myself in the
Mm-hmm.
toilet. And then,
Right.
you know, um, I locked the door. And then he said something really funny. He said, when you come back, make sure you take off your pants, you hear? Like, you gotta learn to loosen up a little. I was just like, wait, what? No. So then, I put it I just wore like double layers just as a sign of like, no, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back. I finally came up because he was like, hey, what's taking so long? And I was like, so
Mm-hmm.
scared that he was gonna barge in. So I was just like, okay, like, let me just go out. And I went back to the table and I was just continuing my work. I was just like, I'm not gonna go there again. I'm gonna pretend that that didn't happen. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
drunk and that was a mistake, so that's fine. So I'm just gonna continue
Right.
like on there. And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, oh, why you do that to me? I was feeling better already after like what you were for what the hug. And then after that it was like he asked me back again. And then this
Mm-hmm.
time he actually really stuck his dick in me for 3 times, I would say.
Wow. And what was, I mean, I don't want to repeat the moment I bring you back into that zone and so forth, but when that started to take place and so forth, what was your what would you say? What was it? I don't even know the right word to say it because it's a very sad situation. Like when all that is taking place, what was his reaction? Or what was he saying? Or You know what I mean?
He was clear and he was conscious. At every single step of the way when I said no, no, it's no, no means no. I said no a lot of times, stop. And these were very, very clear signs of no. You know, it's not like I just shrunk up and I didn't say stuff. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
I said no. I said stop. I said I'm not comfortable. I said it hurts. You know, stop.
Mm-hmm.
I was ignored. And he was conscious. He wasn't drinking like, you know, a lot that he was drunk. Like he was conscious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like maybe
Right.
a little like just a cup kind of thing, you know. But it
Mm-hmm.
was clear that he ignoring my nose.
Mm-hmm.
And that point of
Mm-hmm.
time I just felt like a used vagina. And he was
So did
commenting
he?
saying,
No, go ahead. No, no,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm
he was
listening.
he was he was he was commenting saying, wow, you know, your pussy is so tight. I was just like, you know, first I already said no. And then I got ignored. And you just literally use me as, I don't know, a fuck toy or play toy.
Mm-hmm.
And at point of time I just wish my friend would come back.
Oh. And then so when that happened and when that happened and so forth, what did he did after?
Um he just
Did he
pretended
say
like
anything
everything
to
was
you?
normal.
Right. Hmm.
He pretended like
And then
everything was
you
normal.
right? And then oh. And then did he continue to drink after that, or he just, you know what I mean?
No, he just got up. He just got up and left. Like, you know, it was almost like him being drunk was a facade, or him even drinking was just a facade. Like it was, he was conscious, and you know, he was so energetic after the whole incident that he just
Mm-hmm.
started talking, and it was like, wait a minute, like what? Like, you know, he was clear and conscious. Like he was just like, okay, I'm done using your pussy, and then you know now I'm just gonna go do my thing, and I was just like, you just violated me.
Mm-hmm.
You just stripped away my identity.
So did he tell you not to tell anyone?
He told me that before, like, oh, you know what's happening between us. Let's not tell anybody. And I was,
Mm-hmm.
let's not tell Major. I was just like, before that, it didn't go to that point. So I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't answer. I'm not like going to say anything. But I was so, you know, I was so scared. I was so scared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't call out his name, but he called
Mm-hmm.
himself out anyway.
Right,
So you
because
know,
I've seen as I'm thinking back, I've seen the article, and when I see the article and so forth, it never really shocked me because these are things that they do all the time and so forth, right? And I never, when he put out the article and said that somebody is going around using his name and slaughtering his name and saying these things, I was reading the article and I was laughing about the article. Not laughing as in a happy mood, but just listen to the word he's saying and what have take place and so forth and all of that. And I was wondering, why did he put out an article? Just run and put out an article like that out there to the media, right?
he just ran to the media, yeah. And there was no regard that he
Mm-hmm.
just did that to me and subjected me and my friend who was taking care of me to literally getting like our no, our names were not called, but we were called like malicious or devious beings trying to like soil his good name and stuff like that. I was just like, come on, excuse me, like you just like did that to me. We didn't even call his name, you know. It was just like he called himself out. All we did was just, she as a professional, she put it out and she said, hey, a sexual assault happened on my tour. I'm gonna get myself out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My side, I just said a sexual assault happened to me. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna take some time out. No
Mm-hmm.
one said anything about his name. Then he
Mm-hmm.
came And then he started to go to the Jamaican media and said, oh, people are doing this and stuff. And I was just like, we didn't even call you out. You're calling yourself out. But okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Do you think that you have done this to other girls before?
Yes. Yes, for sure. Because, he kept saying, like every single time where I would cringe or I would like just move around, it's just like, stop movement, I don't want to hurt you. I was just like, excuse me, what? And it was like he
Mm-hmm.
knew like what the hell he was doing.
Right.
There was no
And
doubt in
then,
my mind he knew what he was
mhm.
doing. And
And because
he fucking planned it.
you're in another country and you say you don't know anyone there, because when I spoke to your friend last night, she explained to me that she was at the studio, and when she came back, that's when she found out what happened. And you didn't go to the studio because, as I say, you was working and things and so forth. And I am not a female. I don't know your pain, right? But know for sure is that with you dealing with a situation like that and somebody that you don't know from anywhere, this person could have HIV, all kind of things, and have raped you, I mean, go against your will after you said no or whatever it is, drinking and doing this form of behavior and so forth, and done this to you and
He
so forth.
wasn't
And
drunk. He
it,
wasn't
right.
drunk.
It,
The
I
thing
mean,
was an act.
the person couldn't be drunk if you do something like this, because at some point, no should be an answer that's in his head and so forth to know that it is no. You understand what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
did this to you, and now you have to deal with it. And then, do you think anything gonna come out of the investigation or what? Right now.
Well, right now we're still waiting on the police and to see what the legal side is gonna say. But I don't have much hope for the Australian police as well, because this is a very political issue. And
Right.
I am Singaporean. I'm not Australian. I'm not a blonde girl.
Right.
He's Jamaican. He's not
Right.
Australian. So
Mm-hmm.
there's just too many factors in place that
Mm-hmm.
it's a higher chance that they don't want to charge it because it's so much trouble.
So what I don't understand, though, what I don't understand, why the Australian police did not. I mean, I understand that he was taken in custody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why
Mm-hmm.
they did not, I don't know if it could work like that. And people, you will get a chance to come on to the live after she come off her live. Why they did not take him when they take him into question of trying to I don't know if it worked, like test him, take him to the hospital and test him based on body fluid and stuff like that. Why they didn't do stuff like that?
I'm not sure what they did. I know that they caught him, took his statement, and let him go. But
Mm-hmm.
beyond that, they didn't share much information with me.
Mm-hmm.
They just said, "Oh, we'll do our investigation," and then you just trust the police. And at this point, it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I
Hmm.
cannot. I just when after a violation has been done to you like that, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to see the person who did that to you like have no repercussions at all, and
Right.
you are left picking up the pieces. I
Mm-hmm.
lost everything. It was just like, why are we as the victim slash survivors are going through
Mm-hmm.
this? And why
Right.
are these people just able to walk free? And it's this case for a lot of laws around the
Mm-hmm.
world. It cites more of the perps than the
Right.
actual person who's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why we're left picking up the pieces, and I cannot you know in there is no way I'm gonna let him go and not say anything
Mm-hmm.
about it
Right.
and let him do it to someone else.
Right. So the first
There's
time you
no
said
way.
the part when you saw him and he stick his, I don't even like to use the word because it just made me mad. When you said that the first time you see you and he kiss you, right? That
Yeah.
whole situation and so forth, when he did that, did he say anything to you after that?
Um, he just kept trying to flirt with me. He keeps saying he loves
Mm-hmm.
me. I was just like, yeah, okay. But he knows I have a boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, at that point of time, I really, really only thought that if I was left alone in a room with him, maybe he would just
Mm-hmm.
flirt, and because that was all
Mm-hmm.
he's been doing. In no
Mm-hmm.
way I would have thought being penetrated by the finger first and then raped literally by his
Mm-hmm.
private parts
Right.
for 3 times. It was very, very traumatizing because you're saying no, but
Mm-hmm.
he's just forcing it on you, forcing himself on you, dragging you to the corners and just like, having his way.
Right. So after that happened and you go to the hospital and the tour pretty much
Yes,
ended,
yes,
have
yes.
you
I went to
heard
the
have you heard
hospital.
anything? Did you try
I
contacting in
don't.
any form of way?
I am asking for the documents from the police, but uh, they're still taking a while to get
Mm-hmm.
back to me. But I don't have the results. I have no idea. Like everything is on the police side, but we're getting the lawyer to work on it
Right.
because you know um after the incident, and we posted like our statements. People reached out and they were
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, he had like very strange behaviors on other girls as well. So he's been a predator and he's been masking it as his like I'm a very great singer, so there's nothing that I can do that's
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you decided to just do whatever you want to
Mm-hmm.
anybody. It was just like I don't
Right.
I don't really
So it's just
understand
it's
why
just
someone
right
would even
now.
think about that.
Right. So it's just like now you're waiting for an investigation that maybe not go anywhere, and
Yeah,
the fact of the matter is still out there. And the fact of the matter is that he have a wife, he have daughter, I think he have a son, and he have a daughter and so forth. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yes.
And
We went to his house. We know.
doing something like that to you and having a daughter and having a son and walk around like it's okay. As I said, I wasn't there, nobody else was there beside you, right? And
Yeah,
I'm glad that he did not take your life because he could have done something to you more than what it is. You know what I mean? And so forth. It's bad what happened to you, and I can't even imagine the whole thing and so forth that have what have take place, and then you have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Um, you said that your boyfriend is still together. I applaud him. You know that you guys are still in a relationship, and he did not take it to a different level. You know what I mean? And if you did hurt him, then it would have looked like you was the wrong one at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's a situation we don't even know what to say or where to go from there. But I just really hope that within the power of the Father that they will find him guilty and charge him and he will do time because there's a lot of reggae artists out there who are doing this behavior and doing these things and getting away with it. There's a lot of Jamaican Bill Cosby out there. There's a lot of R. Kelly out there and they're doing it. And it just got me in a zone. It really got me in a zone to see what happened to you and all of that. You know, it really does. And I know that it doesn't make a difference what word or what I've said to you. It's still not going to change what happened.
yeah,
It happened already and it's a bad thing that happened and so forth. And then, in time, it's not going to go away, but getting ill or whatever it is. But I hope that they will find him guilty. I hope they lock him up. And I hope he will never get to perform again. Nowhere else. Because I'm
well,
pretty sure
I want the truth
this is
to get out.
right. Right. This is what he walk around and do and so forth. Um, People, maybe other people out there that can talk. And I've other, you said that other people have reached out to you, right?
And my friend, yes.
Right. But nobody want to talk, right?
Not a lot of people would like they want to just reach out and say it happened.
Mm-hmm. So have you been to therapy?
Yes, yes, I have been working with counselors and therapists, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
it was also like tough to talk to my mom about it, talk to,
Mm-hmm.
my boyfriend about it. Like
Right.
it was just, I don't know, when that happened to you, you just, probably don't
Mm-hmm.
even know yourself anymore. It was just stripped
Yeah.
away, just like that, ignored and used, and you probably feel more like an item than
Mm-hmm.
a person.
Well, it is very tough. It is very tough, and as I said, there's nothing in the world I can tell you, or none of my fans can tell you to say, okay, to make you feel better. I hope that therapy will help you a little bit. It's not gonna help you all that, but I hope also you can be a role model to a lot of people that are going through this situation because you're strong to deal with it, and you went on that tour never expecting none of this because as you say, you call the person your uncle is somebody that you respect and somebody you look up to. And it comes back around to Queen Africa song that she sing, Daddy Don't Touch Me There, I'm gonna tell on you one day, I swear. And this have happened in 2019. And now we're in 2020 and there's nothing. Don't lose faith in it because guess what happened? If the police fail you, we are not failing you. We are listening to your story and you're spreading your story. And one day, you'll be surprised to to get the answer that you've been looking for. You know what I mean? And you will hear that this person is behind bar. Because if they do it to you, once a man raped before, it's not the first he's doing it. It's a continuous thing that happened over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? And I know you probably don't even want to go to Jamaica again. Probably don't want to be in that atmosphere, but it's not every Jamaican man is like that. It's not every artist is like that, but some of these men are actually monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're monsters. What would you say? What other advice would you give other women out there that going through this situation that maybe can help them? Um, through their situation. What would you say to them?
I would say that, the path to healing is a very long one. You
Mm-hmm.
will get triggered. You probably would
Mm-hmm.
be still dealing with it years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
The sad fact is that, even though the triggers are not something you can control,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing you can do is how to learn to cope with it, but to
Mm-hmm.
embrace every single part of it. If you feel like crying, cry.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like, you just need time to process it, process it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to like work your way out of it, like try to hide behind work, or try to hide behind something just so that you won't think about it, because it will
Mm-hmm.
eventually come back to haunt you. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was a very long 1.5 years, and I had to really sit with my feelings and try to not blame myself,
Mm-hmm.
try to not ask what could I have stopped, why didn't I
Right.
kick him.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all questions that survivors will ask, but the known fact about our response is fight or flight, blood. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody really talks about freeze, and that is a very, very, very common reaction for
Right.
people. And the law expects us to be the model survivors or model victims, but no one
Mm-hmm.
is. When you go through something like that, it breaks you.
Mm-hmm.
It
You think if
breaks
it
you,
was you
and
think you think if it was a different race, you think they probably would have did something more?
I can't be sure, but I definitely know that the country's identity and the
Mm-hmm.
the place that it happened in definitely made a difference.
Okay.
Um, but I won't say race per se. Like, to me, I don't really, for me, I don't look at the outside of people. I look at their
Mm-hmm.
hearts, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if you're black or brown or yellow or whatever color. You're still a
Mm-hmm.
person. You still bleed red.
Right. Right.
So then, the majority of it would be just be a decent person. Things
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want it to be done onto yourself or to your loved
Right.
ones. you don't do it to someone else.
Right. Well, I want to tell her that it's not your fault what have happened to you. You never asked for it, and he forced himself on you. So don't ever think about. You're gonna go through the stress. You're gonna go through the pain. You're gonna go through the depression. Don't ever think about suicidal. Don't matter what it is, because at the end of the day, once you have life, you have everything to live. Live and teach others, right? And better yourself. This can hold you down and make this stop the flow of what has going on in your life and stop your journey, right? But it happened, and you can't change the hands of time. But what you can do from this point is that move on with faith, pray about it, smile as much as possible, even though the pain is there, cry as much as you want to cry. You're gonna hurt about it, but you have to hold faith and you have to live. You have to live no matter what it is. You have to live. You're gonna live with the earth, but in time, it will heal. We don't know when. You don't know when, but it will heal. You understand what I'm saying? But I
It
know
will
that this
heal, I'm sure, but
right.
I'm not gonna just not say my truth just because I want it to
Mm-hmm.
heal, because he's gonna do it to someone else. He
Mm-hmm.
will do it to someone else. And
Right.
when that happens, I don't want to feel responsible for it.
Right.
I
So
have
at
a
least you're
lot.
getting it out there. Because you said it happened in Australia, right?
Yeah,
And you are living in Singapore, right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's all. What's the distance in between?
Uh, I think that's about a few hours. I'm not too sure. Maybe about
Mm-hmm.
8 hours. I haven't really remember, but you
Right.
know, I know, like he said, oh, because we were dropped from the Australian tour, so we
Mm-hmm.
were saying rape. Like, I'm Chinese, okay? I'm
Right.
Chinese. I'm Asian. It doesn't mean that I have no standing in my own community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a survivor,
Right.
but I am also a notable beatboxer in my
Right.
region.
Right.
I have standing. I'm not here to go and say, hey, I got raped, because this is seen as taboo in Asia. You come
Mm-hmm.
forward, you get shunned.
Wow. So
You're
have you
gonna shun.
reported to the have you reported to like the American embassy or any of those places?
We have reported it to the Singapore embassy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're on the case, but jurisdiction-wise, it's still tough for them, and I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
what's
because
the
yeah,
level of cooperation that they have with them.
yeah, that's true. Jurisdiction is different.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there's
it's
go ahead.
it's not easy for someone to come forward and say, I got raped.
Mm-hmm.
Most people would prefer not to even say anything about it. They would
Right.
prefer to
Right.
it's not something we're gonna come out because it doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
any sense. We were going
Right.
on our own business. I
Right.
was there
Mm-hmm.
on the tour to help. The
Right.
person, my friend, was actually putting the tour together, and only in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
she was as an artist. But you can't get kicked
Mm-hmm.
off your own tour, so it's a lie. You
Right.
can't get kicked off the tour that you organize yourself.
Right.
How do you get kicked off? How does that make sense?
Right. That don't yeah, that's the same thing she said. Well, there's a website. It's called Justice. US Justice. I think it's called US Justice. And on the site is for rape. It's for people that have women that have been raped.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference where in the world you are. You can go on that website and you can fill out documents on that website, right? I think it's called US Justice website. And you could look for violence against women or rape, something like that, and you can fill out that, and it will tell you the information to put in and all of that, and you can. That's one of the website that you can brought it to their awareness and so forth. You know what I mean? And on your side that you are, do everything you guys can to make sure that it don't happen to somebody else again, and it block that person from entering that country again, no matter what it is, because it don't want to becomes a situation to somebody else.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as time goes by and as the case unfold, always feel free to send in the information. Let we know what happened. As I said, don't turn your back on Jamaica no matter what it is, because it's not everyone is like that. It's not everyone in Jamaica is a R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of them in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So always
Mm.
feel free to send in information and let me know what's going on and so forth. Stay strong within it. You know what I mean? Just fight it and just keep pushing. Don't give up. Don't give up over it. Just keep pressing gas every time and let's see what happens. And if there's anything we can do on this side, we will help you to do the best you can. But just be a role model to others and just protect yourself as much as possible. And you have any final word you want to say?
Yeah. Well, the song that was written by my friend,
Oh yes, yes,
like
the song, yeah.
that is for a lot of survivors out there who never found the courage to speak out.
Mm-hmm.
And we made sure that it was captured in that raw emotions because we wanted to show how much of an impact this is. And
Mm-hmm.
like we want to share it with all the survivors and everyone who stands against gender-based
Mm-hmm.
violence.
Right.
And we're also running campaigns to educate more people how to react when a survivors come to you. How do you support survivors? What are the things that survivors
Mm-hmm.
go through? We have a lot of plans coming up that
Right.
focuses on supporting survivors, and that's something that, alongside
Mm-hmm.
focusing on my own healing and my own
Mm-hmm.
investigation, I
Right.
am also you know making sure that I can help some of the Southeast Asian
Mm-hmm.
survivors here in
Right.
this whole part of the world, because so many people didn't speak up. And that the book remains open, so you didn't really get to close that book. It will come back.
Right. Right. I understand. And write a book about it. Do whatever it is to express yourself. Do as much as possible. Right? And the song will drop tomorrow. And people, let's make this very clear. Let's make this very, very clear. And I made this clear last night. Take it for, as a matter of fact, when you come off the live, I'm gonna make it clear. So we hopefully we talk again, and then take care of yourself, be strong. Remember, don't ever think about suicide. I don't matter what it is. You have made it this far, you will made it again. Right? And take care of yourself and all the best, okay?
Yeah, thank you, I
All right,
appreciate it.
thanks.
and,
All right,
and
thank
thank you
you.
everybody for watching the live and listening to my
Oh,
story.
yeah. No problem. They appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye. All right, people. As she come off the live, let me say something to you. Let me say something to you. I want them to watch my face and watch my face good. Look at my